So this is my room. There's 3 beds, but because it is a smaller room, they only put 2 of us in here. So it's pretty nice. So we end up getting a lot of space. I took the top bunk last year, so he's taking it this year. So I'm on this one. I really like it so far. And we have these 2 awesome double windows, and both of these actually open out really big, so we get a ton of fresh air, and it's really nice. And that's actually the porch right outside, so we can hop through, but we don't do that.
All the rooms here are either doubles, triples, or quads, so it just kind of depends. We drew for which room you got in, and then you slept there for a night, and then you had the option to switch around. So some people decided to switch, some people stayed, but I ended up in 9, so we all have a sink for our room, and then cabinet space and rooms for our towels, and then the bathroom is just down the hall, which has like multiple showers and sinks and such. And then this is my bed. So I hung Christmas lights. Nice to have a little memory of home.
Won't you tell me, my brother, there are stars up above.
So this is how we're gonna walk to school every day. Pretty gnarly.
The first day on the walk down to the classrooms, it definitely felt a little bit more real, just because it was the first time I could really be in the city in the daylight. And we walk right on the Hauptstrasse, which is the main street in Heidelberg, down to our classrooms and then up. And so it was just a good reminder of, okay, yeah, wow, I'm here to be a student and not just like travel and leave Heidelberg every weekend. I'm here to get to know it and be in the city every day. And I think that's a nice part of being in Heidelberg, is you have that walk to the classroom, so you're out in the city.
Okay, I actually haven't been paying attention to where we've been going. I'm definitely gonna get lost.
I don't know, you were pretty good about it last night.
Yeah, but that's because I knew about how far we were from the castle and from that church. Yeah. Like kind of where the house was, and I knew it was further up.
We're gonna be in actually really good shape after this year.
I know, especially like on the way back.
Yeah, and just like every weekend when you go on trips, you walk a ton. Are we here? Whoa.
And the classrooms are just behind this store that sells, I think, like scarves and shoes and things, so you wouldn't know it's there unless you were told it is. And then we're just right above this coffee house in Heidelberg. Our classrooms are on the 2nd and 3rd floor, and they're really nice too.
Jumping up and down the floor. My hat is an animal. And once there wasn't anymore. It had a son that mowed the lawn. The son was an okay guy. They had a pet.
They're your friends, and they're also your RAs, which is not an easy task. And we're counting on you to be a bridge between the students and us. There's also going to be SGA representatives. And we thank you for taking up this responsibility. And if you want to add or say anything to the group, please do.
I don't know. We're just here to serve you guys in the end. So just like look at us as a resource more than anything.
I'm excited, so my door's open. So if you want to hang out, I brought peanut butter cups. So yeah, I'm excited.
Going through orientation with Herr D, he's such a nice guy. You can tell he really cares about each and every one of us.
I am definitely more excited for school after meeting our professors during orientation. I think it's just neat that they're not all from America and that they're European and they've experienced a lot of history and are very knowledgeable and have done this for a long time. And so clearly they know what they're doing, but also they really find it important to make it relevant to our experience abroad. So we're gonna be talking about art and history, and then be going to those places where that art is kept or where that historical event took place and getting to see it in person. And so I think it's gonna make my academics a lot more relevant. So Heidelberg is one of the oldest cities in Germany. I actually learned this before I came. So there's a lot of history here, which is really neat, and all these old buildings that have kind of combined the new lifestyle that people live in, a more modern lifestyle. But then you also have these really quaint buildings and red roofs and the river right there and all these brick and old signs and statues and things like that. So it's a small town, but not as small as I thought.
We're going this way, that's left.
Okay.
If we were going that way, it's that left.
It's true.
I think it means to go that way. I think we just keep going forward.
This is the Hauptstrasse. We're currently doing a scavenger hunt through Heidelberg. Like, it's supposed to be about 2.5 hours, so we're gonna stop for lunch. It's just kind of a break from orientation and sitting in the classroom, so nice to be out and exploring. I don't really know what I'm doing, but the classrooms are super nice, and I think they seem very centrally located, so there should be a lot to do when we have downtime in between class and good cafes to study at, that sort of thing. It said we were supposed to turn left when we came to the playground.
Like outside, yes.
Go back to the playground?
Yep. Got a nice little tour of this street, though.
And when we looked outside, couldn't even see the sky. How do you pay the rent? Is it your parents? Or is it hard to be?
We eat at a place called Essighaus 3 times a week. It's a very traditional German restaurant. We go there, you always get a cup of soup, you get salad, and then there's a main course that's being served that day, and then you get dessert, and then they really are working hard to make sure that everyone will find an option that works for them.
What do you want to do in Salzburg?
What?
What do you want to do in Salzburg?
Sound of music spots.
Oh my God.
No, I've heard Salzburg's really cool. And Bex wants to go. Wait, I have an idea. So the first travel weekend, go to Salzburg like Friday morning, spend all Friday, all Saturday, and then go home Saturday night so we can do the fall festival on Sunday here. Does that sound fun?
It's been a lot to think about so far in terms of where we want to travel and what that all looks like and what type of Euro we want to get, that sort of thing. So it was nice just to get a time set aside during dinner to just get to discuss some of our plans and ideas and hopes and dreams for the year. So as we've been settling into our new home in Heidelberg, my friends and I decided to wake up early and do the Philosopher's Hike, which you just go right across the bridge and then up this curvy road. So people think that the CCB stairs in Malibu are difficult, and then you get to Heidelberg and realize up to the Moorhouse and on this hike that there are a lot more stairs.
Refresh on our German, we can mean
Hallo.
Nicht.
Hallo. Danke. Bitte.
Ja.
Sehr gut.
Vielen Dank. Ich heiße Joanna.
Ja.
Vielen Dank.
Bitte schön. How do you say excuse me?
Entschuldigung.
Entschuldigung. And then how do you say sorry?
Es tut mir leid.
Ah.
Es tut mir leid. Look at you, you know. Bis später.
It's been super bizarre to actually be here just because it's been about 10 months or a little bit longer of anticipation of knowing that we're going to Heidelberg. I think it's going to take a little bit of time for it to actually settle in right now. It's just kind of a lot to process. I'm definitely excited about the growth I'm going to see. I know that it's going to be challenging at many points, and those points of like really great highs and lower lows are what make you grow, and so I'm excited to see where I started and then where I ended in the year, in my faith, interpersonally, within a community, and just within myself.
So hard to fall so far, but I found heaven as love swept low, my heart beating, my soul.
So house church is just an opportunity for our house to get together after everyone's gotten back from their long weekend, whether they traveled or stayed. It's totally an optional time, but we get to come together. Some students will lead worship. We had a time of communion. Our faculty family is kind of heading that charge. But tonight we just kind of shared prayer requests, highs, lows of the week, and just any words of wisdom that people had, and just had a time to reflect on the past 4 days and what all has happened.
How
coming into this trip, I believe all of us had different expectations, and for me, I was thinking about all the people that I was previously friends with, some of my suite mates, my roommate came here too, just people I hung out with at school the first year, and I'm just so amazed that in these past 3 or 4 days that I've already made new friends with people, and that I already see new relationships forming with everybody outside of myself, and I just think that's awesome that we have taken advantage of this cool opportunity.
During our house church time, my friend Houston read a prayer, and it was called Patient Trust, and I found it really meaningful for our time abroad, and it goes like this. Above all, trust in the slow work of God. We are naturally impatient to everything, to reach the end without delay. We should like to skip the intermediate stages. We are impatient of being on the way to something unknown, something new. And yet, it is the law of all progress that is made by passing through some stages of instability. And so I think it is with you. Your ideas mature gradually. Let them grow. Let them shape themselves without undue haste. Do not try to force them on, as though you could be today what time, that is to say, grace and circumstances acting on your own goodwill, will make of you tomorrow. Only God could say what this new spirit gradually forming within you will be. Give our Lord the benefit of believing that His hand is leading you, and accept the anxiety of feeling yourself in suspense and incomplete.
So